live streams. We cover a different topic each day. Tuesdays is parenting. And I'm Johnny Jensen, founder and creator of the Team Super Dad program. I'm not the flipping ultimate parent. I'm just a dad like you, doing his best, taking inspiration from my childhood experiences and the bits I loved about my dad and the bits I didn't love so much about my dad, but also the people around me that were dad influences. The Team Super Dad program is about dads creating their best life ever, especially after divorce, separation, or loss. So birthdays, kids' birthdays. I've had 2 birthdays in the last 10 days. So literally last Thursday and this Thursday are my kids' birthdays. And it is quite stressful for any parent, really, let alone a single parent, deciding what they can get their kids, how much they should spend on them. And there's also that horrific thought in the back of the mind, which is what I'm going to buy them just simply going to go in the bin or sit on the shelf with all the other toys not getting used? So it's a challenge that I do understand. And then you've got the other problem of TV adverts, kids getting different things. I think for myself, my kids don't actually want that much. They're both very sporty. They have their interests: dancing for Rosie, football for Jago. We swim, we ride our bikes. So we're outside quite a lot. When we are inside, thankfully Rose, still at 8, loves playing with her dollies, and she likes making slime, and she's very creative. So we'll quite often be baking and things like that. Jago, if he's quite frankly, if he's indoors, he's probably pretty knackered from all his sports. So as long as he's done his homework, I'm more than happy for him to be playing on his Xbox, chatting with his friends. It's important to remember that most console playing these days is actually a very social thing where they're talking with their friends. So on to what I actually get them. eBay I love eBay basically. And when you're buying a big ticket item, so if it's technology, then maybe you don't really want to buy a second-hand console. If finances are a problem, then then maybe you do. Mobile phones are a topic of discussion between single parents about when you get your kids a phone or not. I got my kids a phone for Christmas last year, not so much so they can have a phone. Rosie wanted to make videos, and it's just the most sensible thing to give her a phone that she's used to making videos on and can edit from. And Jago just wanted to talk to his mates on Instant Messenger, and Xbox chat. So, but you can't go out and buy a kid a brand new iPhone. So eBay was awesome for that. And the other thing that I find eBay awesome for is bikes. Bikes. There's a brand called Specialized, and I just get them. I bought them these bikes when they were kids called Hot Rock, and Jago's hit a size now where he's gone up to Hard Rock now, and they're like 350 quid new. So if you've got loads of money and you're a bit mad, then by all means go out and buy your kids a brand new bike. But I got particularly cool for Rosie. The bike that I bought her 2 years ago, it cost me £75. I sold it last week for £72 and bought her the next size up for £75. So I really haven't spent anything over the last 4 years, and she's consistently had a bike that fits her. And you've got to be a bit of a dude on eBay to shop around, and I use a sniping tool so I can bid right at the end of the auction, so I'm not paying over the odds really. So the other thing I want to share about what you buy your kids, as much as possible, I like to buy what I can afford, and I don't mind if that stretches myself sometimes. My kids aren't spoiled. They don't get lots of stuff all the time, and so when it comes round to an occasion like Christmas or their birthday, I like them to feel like it's a special day. I also got Jago a desk, and because it's not her birthday yet, but I got Rosie a dressing table, again both from eBay. So I probably spent less than 100 quid on their birthdays, but they've got stuff that is worth hundreds of pounds really. So wherever you're at with your finances, just get creative. I was getting some funny story. Rosie's dressing table, when I was putting it into the bedroom, I broke the mirror, so I had to drive to Chatham today, which is about 20-minute drive away, to get a new piece of mirror cut. Big up to A1 Glass in Rochester. Open and a bargain. So as I was driving back through there, I remember I passed all these charity shops, and I remembered when my kids were little, we used to go to charity shops all the time. Now, when kids are small, a charity shop is amazing. There's so much stuff in there, and they can choose loads of it. It's not quite the same when they're 10 and 8, but for me, when in the eye of the storm when we broke up, and there really was frantic times, money concerns, etc. Not that those money concerns have necessarily quite gone away, but at that age, we could go into a charity shop, spend an hour or 2 hours in two or three of them, and they would get the experience of looking at stuff, choosing stuff, um, and obviously it doesn't cost that much money. So if your finances are tight, then I can really respect that. And to be honest, and here's the other end of the spectrum, right? If you've got loads of money, then by all means, great, spend it. But I'm not sure, having been a bit skint for a while, or through a period of time, through some tough times, that I would necessarily now go out and really spend huge amounts on my kids. And like I said about the experiences of eBay, I probably would still look to get stuff on eBay, things that I could buy. That my best is about making best use of your money, really. What else have I said about birthdays? Birthday parties. Wow, let's not even get into that. But there can be a lot of keeping up with the Joneses about birthday parties. We are having a disco later on in November, but last weekend, like, I had a few kids around for Jago's tea, and I had on this Friday just a few kids around for Rosie's tea, and they're going to have a blast. So don't let it stress you out. Is as I guess what I'm saying. More than anything, our kids want our love and our time, and although this isn't quite on topic, they want to feel heard. So make sure you're always really listening to your kids. Give them a moment to speak, come down to their eye level, and really give them the confidence to say what's going on for them and to ask what they want to ask. Whether it's a no or a yes, they should feel confident enough to ask for these things and express their feelings. If you've got any questions or suggestions about any of the Team Superdad topics, Tuesdays is parenting, but we also look at health, wealth, your faith, spiritual, religious based, whatever, but your universal faith, your personal power, and of course relationships, falling back in love. I'll be back tomorrow. I look forward to seeing you then. It's work and money on Wednesdays. Team Superdad out.